Hey everyone, welcome into another edition of Football Friday with BC Full Performance. I'm Coach Bobby Cole, and today we're going to be talking about how young wide receivers can learn to catch just like Justin Jefferson for the Minnesota Vikings. Justin Jefferson, one of the best receivers in the NFL, consistently a great catcher, but also makes some of the best highlight reel catches of the season. Right here, he's going to be warming up pre-practice, and these couple of catches here we're going to see really explain why he's so consistent, why he's so good. So we have a couple over-the-shoulder catches right here. And then he makes a really nice one-handed catch. So we get another over-the-shoulder catch here. And then a nice one-handed catch right here. And so we're going to take this back and go through as to why he makes these catches right here. Okay, so as he's watching the football, the best thing that he does is with him watching the football here, he's keeping his eye on the football, but he keeps his shoulders straight. Okay, so all he does is he has a slight tip of the shoulder back, but he doesn't fully turn his body and add too much movement. He knows that the football is traveling over his shoulder and it's going to land down over here. So he doesn't need to turn his entire body. We just need to get that head back. So he does a really good job here of getting the head and both of his eyes back, both of his eyes, to be able to see the football. And then as he gets ready to have that football come in, he gets his hands up. And as he gets his hands up, this is one of the key things that young receivers have such a problem with that I see, is as they bring their hands up here, what a lot of guys do is they pinch these elbows together and they pinch their wrists together. But when I say pinch, they're physically touching their elbows and their wrists, so there's no space in here. So for Justin Jefferson, we see a little bit of space in here, all right, that allows him to open his hands up. And we see some space here in between his wrists. So that's key because what you want to do is you want to get your pinkies together, but you want to open those hands up, all right? You want to open the hands up, and we want the nose of the football to be landing in between the pinkies, which is exactly what happens here. So if we look at the football, Justin Jefferson has his hands on almost 3/4 of the football because he opens his hands up. If you pinch your elbows and your wrists together, what happens is it closes your hands down where you can only catch so much. It's almost if you took your pinkies together and you close down your hands, you instantly close down about half of the width that you really truly have. So what the most important thing here is to put your pinkies together, but allow your wrists and your elbows to stay loose and open so that you can catch and get the max amount of coverage on the football. All right, the next piece of it is the head. So now we see Justin Jefferson turning his head to watch it into his hands, all right, with just a quick head turn. Right as it comes in, boom, he watches it, and he's soft with his hand as well. So once he catches it here, he's soft with those hands, all right? Catch and brings it down. He's not bringing it in because he's warming up, but normally you would see that where he would catch, and you would be able to tuck that right away, but he's soft with those hands, all right? We see him catch another over-the-shoulder pass. Same thing, right? It's almost a mirror example. We have both eyes back. We have his shoulders still turned down the field, and then as he brings his hands up, same thing, okay? Elbows are open, they're loose. Wrists are open, they're loose. And once again, the nose of the football lands right in between his pinkies. And he has, once again, almost 3/4 of that football. And he's now turning his head right as he's catching it to watch that football in. Okay, watches it in, and he's soft with those hands. So right there, guys, that's a huge thing, especially catching over the shoulder, right? You see with those hands, 3/4 of the football is covered by his hands right now over the shoulder. So it's a huge thing that I see for young receivers is they like I said, they try to pinch the wrists together, they pinch the elbows, and it just makes it a challenge for you to be able to catch because you can't open those hands up. All right, and you might say, oh, well, what happens if it lands in here? Well, if you watch Jefferson right here, as that ball's coming in, even if he had to catch it in his elbows and in his arms right now, you still want to keep those together enough to be able to secure the football. You just want them loose so that you're not super stiff and you just close down that area. So right now, if that football landed in his arms, let's say he miscalculated, he's still going to catch that. The ball's not going to slip through this area. So we're not saying to leave it wide open so the ball could slip through because sometimes you have to body catch over the shoulder. You just want to use your hands as much as you can because they're going to be much stronger than just trying to use your arms, and it's not gonna fit in there as well as it will right in the hands. All right, and then the last catch is the one-handed catch. So this looks very nonchalant. All right, and like he just throws his hand back and boom, he just snags it in. Oh, maybe a lucky catch. But it's not a lucky catch. Once again, as he goes to make this catch, look at his eyes. Okay, his eyes are up here at the football. All right, he's watching the angle, and he knows where the nose of the football is. Okay, so you're always watching the nose. If you have to make a one-handed catch, you want to try and catch it close to the top of the football, because if you've played football, you know the ball gets skinnier towards the end. Okay, so you want to watch the nose of the football, all right, to target where that is. And right now, Jefferson's hand is wide open. Okay, wide open. And now as he goes to catch, he latches on. So right now you see that hand squeeze. Okay, so that thumb squeezes, the index finger squeezes, and because he lets the nose of the football still get in between the thumb and the index finger, which is how you'd want to catch. If you made a diamond in front of you, you want to get that football in between the pinky and the index finger and the thumb. So you want to get that right in the middle. So if you make a diamond with your hands right now, you want to have that football land right in the middle of the diamond. So right here, Jefferson only has half of a diamond, but that football lands right between that thumb and that index finger, and now he has full coverage of half of that football, and he does a very good job of timing it and snagging that football. So we actually see, it's kind of tough because of the background, but right here there's a little bit of space in between his thumb, that thumb area of the glove, because what he's doing is he's physically timing the index finger and the thumb to snag onto that football right as it comes in. So if you're a wide receiver, this is why we coach you guys to catch and get that timing down of your fingers. So if you've ever used skills balls, something in your palm that makes it tougher where you can only catch with your fingertips, this would be why, because you need to time up your fingertips, your index finger and your thumb especially, to be able to snag onto that football the second it comes in. You need to lock that in and grab it. Okay, so that's what he does here. So even though it looks very nonchalant, there's actually a lot going on with this that is exactly what you should be doing as a wide receiver. That's just natural instinct of what he would normally do if he was catching with two hands. Now he just has the one. Okay, so this is why he's one of the best. This is just warm-ups, but these three catches back-to-back right here for Jefferson, they're all fundamentally and technically sound, and it's just him warming up. So you do this every single day. Every time you play catch, there should be a purpose. And if you use each of these to kind of build those fundamentals, you're going to become a better receiver. You're going to become a better catcher, and you're going to be more consistent for your team overall. Thank you guys for checking in. We'll be back in another week with another video, some technical skills. Have a great weekend. Thanks again for checking in to Football Friday with BC4 Performance.